David, we seem to be asking the same questions every week, but is Rishi Sunak still in trouble?
Do you know, I just filed a piece last night saying that he's got 7 days to sort this out to end his Boris problem. And I think today is the budget, and that will go a long way to decide whether he's still in trouble or not, actually.
But on that budget, for example, I mean, a lot of the detail as here is already known. A $5 billion rise in defence spending. I mean, in this climate, is that enough to keep the wolves from the door, $5 billion?
It didn't land particularly well with Conservative MPs who wanted about twice that much. I think the bigger concern was that he's committed to go to 2.5% of GDP on defence spending. He's not said when that will happen, and most of the Conservative Party wanted to go to 3%, so a lot more.
Yeah. And what about the status of the planned tax increases? I mean, he was the Chancellor. I mean, the corporate tax rate to go from 19p to 25p in the pound. It's hardly Conservative Party policy, but as I said, this bloke was the Chancellor who proposed the increases. Wouldn't the rank and file want him to scrap that, and will he?
Absolutely. I think that could be the key issue today. If he scraps that, then he's home and dry. He can say he's listened to his colleagues and all the rest of it. If he goes ahead with it, I think there'll be a lot of discontent. It's already acting as a major disincentive for companies to invest in this country.
Yeah, I know.
And it's really problematic, actually. Really
will he chuck the football to Jeremy Hunt, the Chancellor, and say, oh, well, we'll postpone it? I mean...
Yeah, I mean, that seems to be the most likely option, but the concern there is that the threat of it is the problem. So AstraZeneca, which is a big kind of medical research company that developed one of the vaccines, if you remember, they've just decided to locate in Ireland because of a much lower corporation tax rate and the threat that 19 is going to go up to 25. So these sorts of decisions are happening all the time, and the UK is losing out quite badly as a result. So if they don't actually withdraw the threat of it altogether, it's going to continue.
See, I'm a long way away here, but the impression I get from, and I try to read everything, I mean, things like the cost of living, inflation, miles behind at the polls. I don't get the impression that he is inspiring the rank and file to understand that he's got answers to these things, does he?
No, not entirely. But what he's done is he's answered a lot of the kind of questions of the discontents on his backbenchers. And you've got to remember that if he's going to be removed as leader, it's got to come through the MPs. If Boris is going to come back, it's got to come through the MPs. And the stuff he's done on the migration bill and actually the Brexit sort of deal with Northern Ireland has done enough, I think, to neutralise, if you like, the threat of a rebellion on the backbenches.